Hello and welcome to another jungle tutorial, and in this one we are going to be taking a look at how you can 1v9 by being literally everywhere on the map. Now it has been a while since we had a good simple gameplay jungle carry guide that showed you the importance of being able to read the situation in a game in order to make sure you are the one that can take control of it. When you have a jungle Karthus on the enemy team and he can press R and impact the lanes without doing anything, you have to have good pathing, good reactions, good fundamentals, and most importantly, a good understanding of the game. So if you like this playstyle where you can rotate to situations quickly and you can move around the map with haste, consider one of these champions. And yes, they aren't all assassins, but the idea is that you can rotate to situations and be there to clean up messes and still be able to focus those objectives which are so important in Season 10. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And just before you start spamming games trying to pull this off and remember that Blue Kayn is actually a very good 1v9 champion, this video is brought to you by zealous.gg. As we all play more League than we would like to admit, especially solo queue, but we don't really have enough orange essence for all the skins we get in the drops, even though 90% of them are just Lux and Ari. Zealous is here to simplify the approach by having you earn zip points, and this is simply done by creating a free account, inputting your IGN and server, and that's it. You're registered, no downloads, choose and complete your daily tasks by playing League, compete in challenges, contests, and more, and once you have enough zips, redeem your RP card for the fresh new Rek'Sai skin that's coming out in 2 weeks. Black Frost. Nice. Play the game, destroy your enemies, and start rewarding yourself with zealous.gg. For Odin. Right, so if a jungler is going to be everywhere, naturally you're going to expect a good progression of kills as well as farming and objective control. That being said, you do need your lanes to kind of end up in a bad situation in the first place. With that in mind, the first clears are interesting. Normally Kayn would do your red side into your blue side, he can farm very quickly. The problem is he is against the fastest farmer in the game, Karthus. Simply doing a full clear and getting it at like 3 minutes is very easy. Now obviously this Karthus isn't executing it as well as a challenger would, and that's the point of this video as well, showing you the imperfections in both their gameplays, just such that you know when you play your games in plat, gold, silver, diamond, that you can actually end up capitalizing in this in order to carry. Now to that end, the Kayn ignored his Krugs in order to match the tempo of the Karthus. Simply by ignoring the Krugs, it means he gets to the bottom side scuttle first and denies that control to the Karthus. A very important thing, especially seeing as you don't want him to get too much of an XP lead on you. Yes, our favorite edgelord can farm very quickly, but he does have to build up to that, whereas Karthus begins that way. Now the thing is, once he's done that crab, he immediately looks to gank in the mid lane, and this is something we've talked a lot about with farming junglers, and Kayn's nice that way as he gets his gank off in the mid lane. It's that when you play Kayn, you are forced to gank, you are forced to look for skirmishes, you cannot get your form unless you have some sort of map activity. A normal farming jungler, you can get very much trapped in this AFK farm sense and not contribute to your lanes. You don't have that option with Kayn, or you cease to be a champion for the first 20 minutes. I'd say it's unfortunate that his mid laner died, but as junglers in this season, when our mid laner dies and we get a kill and a gank, it's so nice just to hold that wave, absorb that juicy experience, make us feel normal again. And while he does that, the Karthus takes an opportunistic gank on the bottom side. The 2v2 lane thought, hey, you know what, maybe he's done his Krugs by now, he's gone back to base, all the way back up to Gromp, we can start actually fighting. Unfortunately for them, Karthus was there and delayed his back a few times already, gets himself a nice kill and assist. Now I want to talk quickly about the Kayn's camp sequencing. We talked about this last week, but if you're trying to sequence your camps in an order to maximize experience gain, which you kind of have to do if you're a farming jungler in Season 10, it's very important you start with those edge camps that have the maximum XP and you know which side you want to go on. Do you want to go from Krugs to Gromp? Or do you wish to go for the nice chubby Gromp and then head all the way up to Krugs? Depends on what lanes you want to gank, depends on what objectives are on the map. Now apparently the Kayn wants some hot wings, and so he takes the Raptors. This is the second spawn of course, the Krugs are still in the first spawn. And by going from Raptors to Krugs, it gives him a little bit of time because there'll be 2 minutes before the Krugs and Raptors spawn again, and he wants to be able to sequence from Gromp to Wolves, up to the Raptors, and then to the Krugs again, and of course he'll get his red buff in due course. And so that means he has time for this gank on the top lane. Karthus of course had gone back to base, Bort would be in the area, so he should have known that. Not that the counter gank was really very useful, he just existed, as Karthus does, sets a great champion and they get a kill on him. Now if his laner was paying attention to the situation, Kayn wasn't, that's why he died. If the laner was paying attention, you see the Karthus got the assist, which means you know he's in the area, and you probably shouldn't feed him yet another kill. Now the nice thing about Karthus is that he is very predictable. The fact that laners still die to his ganks, not the R, I don't count that as a gank, but just regular ganks, is actually quite humorous because you kind of know where he's going to be all the time. As such, once the Kayn respawns, he goes for the juicy Gromp. As I said, he's thinking about going all the way up a gank to get level 6, but if you want to win the game, if you want to carry your teammates, if you want to be everywhere, you have to learn to forgo those camps and simply rotate to situations quickly. As we said, Evans, Kayns, Warwicks, they can all do this kind of stuff. Find the ethereal gaps in their stone wall, Eon down like a ghost, smite their Phalos because he deserves it for playing that champion, and get yourself 2 kills on the bottom lane. This now means you can shove, you've rectified the fact that they got ganked by the Karthus level 3, and now you get a Fire Dragon, a very good one to deny things like Karthus, and there's nothing he can really do except finish his Raptors and then go down to his Krugs. He did waste a little bit too much time trying to intervene and get in the way of that though. So once the dragon is done, sequence all the way back up to the top side, go back to base. The thing is, the Karthus doesn't really have to do much in order to have lane impact. The Echo's ganking on the bottom side, the Karthus presses that magical button and gets 2 assists. Now from the Kayn's perspective here, in order to be everywhere, you first have to be somewhere. You need to get gold, you need to get a lead that enables you to have that playstyle. In a nice Season 7, Season 8 throwback, it's bottom lane. Unfortunately, upon finishing the blue buff, he runs into the enemy jungler. Why he's there, I don't know. Needless to say, it ends up being a 1-for-1 cancel. Karthus doesn't like junglers that can burst him out very quickly and use their mobility to get away from his weird necrotic ghost flesh stuff. Now, not to be stifled by their plan, he needs to go back to the bottom lane. He ignores all camps, respawns, gets form, has the Moby boots, straight back down there. Look at how he's going to begin hovering. There needs to be a freneticism to the way you play this kind of style. The Moby boots help, the river control helps. You now have to accept you are going to be counter jungled, you might lose heralds, you might lose your raptors and krugs, but the lane impact needs to step up and he needs to get to 7-8 kills very quickly. A flash WQ smite combo is nothing an ADC can deal with. Down falls the weird moon dude. Control the river, deny the vision, C2 rotating to you. Think, okay, I go farm a bit. Gromp, wolves. Echo thinks you're out of the picture, starts to go in on the Syndra. You say that's not allowed, that's my mid laner. Ease across, ult so you can go deep inside him. Yes, I said that about Jinx before, but here we are not biased on this channel. Kill Echo. As Karthus presses R and Syndra dies, you throw the Keck W as you go to the top side until you realize that ultimate actually killed Sylas as well, and you keep thinking, why is this even embraced or allowed whatsoever? Seriously, the problem with jungling isn't junglers, it's when this happens. People don't like this. If you're gonna allow Karthus to exist in this fashion, what was wrong with Farfleur in Season 4? AFK farm and then come out and do a bunch of damage. Seems to me that's exactly what he's doing, right? Maybe I should put that on a poster or something, what do you think? He does his top side, goes back to base because the red buff spawned, heads directly there. Now he will go from red all the way down to the bottom side. Upon a duly timed arrival with his Moby boots and E picks himself up 3 kills, and you will watch that sequence on your screen now. At the same time, Karthus is covering top lane, taking out the Sylas, who I'm sure isn't inting but not 100%. The point that I stepped up the voiceover as well as the pace of the video is because to give you a sense of what it's like in game. When you are in games like this, you will feel that freneticism really activate. Oh, I need to be here, oh, I need to be here, I need to rotate to this kill. I still need to farm at the same time, bottom lane's fighting again, Karthus is top lane, what about the dragon? All of these things need to go through your mind very quickly, and it is really useful when you have Moby boots and the minimap activated and as big as possible that you can make these kind of plays. Of course, while you got those kills in the mid lane and went topside, the Karthus took advantage of this, stole your Gromp and of course that dragon. Now just when you thought you could get re-control of your Gromp, you know, you don't want other junglers touching it with their filthy hands. And this is a little tip, as you can see on screen, the ADC's by herself, the support's back in base, and as a jungler, these are some of the freest kills you will ever get. Whenever there's a bottom lane with a disparate back timing, the enemy will try and 2v1 dive, especially with the Leona. That means if you're in the right situation, and it doesn't really matter what champion you are, just make sure you counter gank this. Because they last saw you on the bottom lane, they think, oh, he's going to go do Gromp Wolves, go back to the top side, maybe Herald because there's no dragon. They will never assume you hung around this long. It's one of the biggest things junglers can do is play those mind games with laners and make sure you're getting another kill and assist in the situation. And what was very nice is he gave that kill to the Senna. He already has 9. Yeah, you want to be the guy that's 1v9 and solo carrying and being everywhere, but you still need someone on your team to at least be mildly competent. Following this, if there's one move that you take away from this video, it's this. He just got his 9th kill, he went back to base. He didn't go back to farm, he didn't relax, he didn't do anything stupid or too conservative. He saw Karthus holding the wave on the bottom side, and this is where the alpha carry needs to come out. You know he's there, you've got vision, you have the mobility, get inside his jungle, slice him up any which way you can, just make sure he's dead, get out of the situation. When you see your mid laner is once again out of the picture and you're losing tower, don't fall back into your jungle, you have the lead, you can take him. Eat some shrooms, honey fruit to focus yourself, and then straight to the mid lane, outplay him and get another kill. I told you it's frenetic, but you're at the stage of the game where you just need to make sure there's always 1 or 2 people off the map, or they're gonna group, use their lead, and get objectives and towers, and that's what you don't want to happen. At this point, every rotational kill you get is basically denying the enemy the ability to use their lead, and also telling your team, hey listen, maybe if you just stop being a bunch of peanuts and just let me be the cashew for a little bit, I can actually carry you out of the jar. I'm not entirely sure what that metaphor was, but let's go with it. And now the ship really does have holes in it, and you do have to try and plug them all at once. Kappa. So you let Karthus play with the purple beetle, you take the dragon, which is ult cooldown, very nice, and then you go to the bottom lane and you make sure Echo is eradicated. Split pushes are not allowed. Take your camps, swoop across mid lane to stop that push. Doesn't matter that they push top lane, swoop up there, say hello to FPX. You've gone everywhere, you haven't gotten any kills, but you've at least stopped the bleeding for now. You've pushed them back, they've had to disengage for fear of your engage. So at this stage, the goal really is, if your team isn't grouped, if your team is back, some are dead, and they're making a coherent play where you can't really make an impact, now you confirm. If your team is somewhat grouped, they're trying to accomplish something, sieging a tower, attempting to get waves pushed in your favor, make sure you are there to help out. Get the kill in the set, even if the magnificent ultimate of the gods kills the Syndra. As I said, the death of Set here is greater than the death of Syndra. Now because your mid lane is dead and your bottom lane was forced out of mid lane, as you fall back to defend, you can take those camps to make sure they don't steal them from you. At the same time, if your team ends up caught out in a bad fight and the enemy team executes TPs, don't be too hasty to go and dive the back line, use your flash and your ultimate. Remember, they don't really do as much as you, and if you don't accomplish your goal of taking 1 or 2 out, basically if you're Kayn, you can lead them on a wild goose chase and throw as many Twitch emotes above your head as you like, but most other junglers, actually maybe every other jungler, will just end up dying in that situation, and then you give them Baron, and now your task is really difficult. He's lucky they chased him like this, he's lucky he got out, the Karthus still killed the Silas, but thanks to that Banshee's Veil, thanks to that stopwatch and good itemization, he's in a position to be able to be slightly more aggressive. The thing is, as you watch him go through the walls using his E probing, he hits the W on the Karthus to get a nice shadow kill. Every jungler in this situation with this kind of kit has something they can use to make the enemy afraid of them. Evelynn W, Rengar ultimate, Kayn E, Warwick W. It's something that lets them know, hey, if you step out of position, I will engage, I will make a play, and you will die. Set, same thing here, he's getting impatient, he shoves up mid. Again, another kill to the Kayn. And what you're looking for at this stage is simply to do what you're doing. You can see the enemy team's getting frustrated, they want to get the Baron, they want to close it out, but you are not allowing them to do so. In turn, what you need is one good fight, one good flank, one good pick that lets your team get the Baron and then turn the tables of the game in your favor. Unfortunately, they weren't watching this video and they went for a bad team fight and the Kayn died and they gave up a dragon. They should have lost the Baron, fortunately they didn't. And now we can fast forward to the game deciding moment, the Baron fight, the thing that's going to end up basically deciding who gets to push and win because of that minion pressure. The Kayn has done a wonderful job holding off and trying his best to put out whatever fire was ignited and also preventing them simply by taking someone out. And you probably think, hey, it must be the Echo, he's on the top side. The thing is, it's Echo. Zhonya's EQ ultimate, basically his whole kit, means it's very difficult and you might need multiple people to shut him down. Now, Syndra does die, the Echo gets collapsed and the enemy team rotates. Kayn is doing his best to show restraint, he's doing the assassin thing. You have to wait for cooldowns to be blown, you have to wait for someone else in your team to make a play, because if you just go in like a meathead, if you just dive in with your Rengar ultimate, whatever it may be, you're going to die. Karthus presses R, and now you think, oh, here's the moment of truth, we're all going to be believers. Thankfully, Silas doesn't believe and ease him just in time to cancel that ultimate, and basically I'm going to call out the game-winning play. He may have inted, he may have done bad things, but that ultimate denial lets him fully flash onto the Aphelios, kill the Leona. Set wasn't in the picture, he was split pushing, didn't have TP, and that's a good thing to pay attention to as well. From this, they can get Baron, and then you will see highlights of Kayn assassinating and basically drawing his team to the end, so you can see kind of what he did to make sure that these sack of mashed potatoes that he had for teammates were actually able to get the win. And there you have it, and yes, that was kind of intense to record and probably went by very quickly, but that's the feeling I want you to have inside you when you play some of these champions. And no, the feeling shouldn't be Kayn ulting you, it should simply be, oh, bottom lane's fighting, let me go kill them, mid lane's fighting, better clean that up. They're on the dragon, let me take the herald. I was just bot lane, they won't expect me if I come again, and then they won't expect me if I come a 3rd time, and they definitely won't expect me to come a 10th time. And that's the thing you really need to be able to do as a jungler. Read the map, understand when to leave your camps, and I will leave links in the end screen for those videos if you're interested in kind of the nuances of what I just mentioned. Either way, I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something. Remember that Kayn, especially Blue Kayn, can be a 1v9 champion. Please do like, share, and comment if you did. I do like reaching around 1,000 likes because it makes my beard feel more majestic than Blue Kayn's hair. Don't forget to subscribe for all those juicy jungle videos coming very soon, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.